What's up, YouTube? I'm going to do a little part today about invasive species, and you can see some of the remnants of what I've been dealing with right now. So if I look to the direct left here of this corpse of a plant, I can see its little brother popping up, and so this is garlic mustard. Unfortunately, I have a lot of this stuff growing in my property, as I have a mostly forested property. And if we just kind of scan out here and look for little white flowers, there we go. That right there is all garlic mustard. Originally indigenous to parts of Europe. This stuff, if it gets into your mid-Atlantic soil, will spread like wildfire, especially here in Maryland, and especially in my area, because having a forested property, this stuff really likes to get into that moist, leafy, mulchy area, and it'll just take root and grow like wildfire. And unfortunately, it produces a lot of flowers, and local pollinators will go ahead and attach to this thing and help it spread across the forest floor. And as I just scan across the forest floor here, you can see that it's everywhere, right? So I got my work cut out for me. I'm going to try to remove as much of this as possible. It's bad. And the reason why it's bad is because it crowds out local species. So as I just kind of film around here, you can see a fern popping up over there. You notice that there's not any of the weeds around it, but when this stuff takes hold, man, it just will take anything that's growing on the forest floor and just crowd it out, blocking all the local species. As I just focus my camera down, you can see how much it's replicating, right? You know, all this right here, these are tiny little offshoots of this garlic mustard plant. So it's really terrible stuff. Let me show you another invasive species that I'm also tackling. You see some more of the garlic mustard as I'm walking along here. Big piles of the stuff we got to get rid of. More garlic mustard. And as I walk back here, this is another, it's a pretty plant, but it's also an invasive species. This is a yellow Archangel. I understand it's related to the mint. And if you know anything about mint, you understand how invasive mint just is in general. But it's all through the forest floor here, so it's got to be ripped out. And I imagine it probably, you know, broke loose from somebody else's garden, like maybe way over there. That's not my property. But it probably broke loose from somebody else's garden, and now it is just growing like wildfire all the way through the forest floor. And this is a primary example of, you know, you take an invasive species and you put it in a place where the opportunity is right, it will just go and take over, and there's nothing to stop it. Another invasive species, as I'm just sitting right here, but Japanese maple, man. Wow, what a horrible invader this is. This sucker right here, if you look throughout on my property, I live in about a half acre. This stuff is just all over the place. And it's a pretty tree, but man, it will just take over, and it seeds quite a bit. And when the seeds spread, it flies across and just will go everywhere. I've found this stuff all over the place. So I try to pull it whenever I possibly can, but it will just completely dominate a space.